Yeah. So can you?
I'm just gonna watch my face this whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just make the screen go down?
If you
like
want to.
lower brightness?
Sure.
Dope. The other ones I'm just gonna be like, you'll ask me a question, I'll be like,
Yeah.
staring at
I
the
feel
video.
so.
That's a good idea.
Can you start by telling us your name, year, and major?
Yes, I'm Noah Todd, and I'm a mechanical engineer. Yep. And year,
Yeah.
I'm a senior.
Perfect. So then beyond that, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself in general?
Sure. I'm just your one-of-the-mill guy who likes to do a bunch of different hobbies. I go to the gym a lot. I play paintball. I'm really into design and parametric design for other stuff, for like mechanical engineering. Build a lot of robots. And then I guess like for this specific thing, I was really into Survivor when I was a young kid. I had like a Survivor birthday party where we ate like cicadas. You remember it was like the same year that the cicadas had? Yeah.
Did you vote people out of your birthday party?
It's halfway through. It's like, hey, you're out.
You gotta leave.
You literally have to leave. We gotta get your mom right
Yeah.
now.
Voted out of the
Yeah, we already called your mom 5 minutes ago. She's on her way.
Yeah, I'm the same, Raph.
You want to stay closer to the door?
Yeah.
Me.
So
Wait, what was the question you said?
let's just make this interview the
I'm
most
asking
distracting thing possible for you.
Yeah.
Literally, you're silent.
I mean, you don't have to restart it. I'm not like thrown off by the fact that people are moving around.
Well, then I'll just ask a question. How familiar are you with Survivor and how the game works?
I'm pretty familiar. I mean, I watched like quite a few episodes when I was younger. I will say that was a long time ago, so maybe I'm a little rusty, but I think I understand it.
Have you ever watched Survivor Maryland?
I saw like 2 of your episodes. Yeah. Yeah. When I was looking at this, yeah.
From what you remember, who would you compare yourself with? Any player if you don't remember anyone? If not,
I don't think I can.
So can you name a time when you had to use someone to get ahead? It doesn't necessarily have to be
When I
bad.
use someone to get ahead,
Yeah, it doesn't have to be bad.
like use them like
It sounds
put
great.
them
Yeah.
like put them down to get ahead.
Yeah.
Not necessarily.
Ah.
Or just
Put
like
yourself
use
up.
like a social connection to get yourself a job, or if you just stomped on someone to get what you wanted. There's a few options.
Oh, I mean, I've used someone to get a job before. But I think you guys want it in like the context of Survivor, where you like manipulated somebody.
Not necessarily, yeah.
It
It could be as simple as just.
It would help.
It could be as simple as just like getting like notes from someone before an exam, or
Or
Whatever you
like
wanna
cheating
tell-
someone off a test.
Whatever you want to tell us.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Your eyes lit up. You're like shit. It's incriminating.
Murder. Getting way inside you should send you to.
I asked for someone's location so I could kill them. Dude, I don't know. I don't know if I've like used. Damn, I feel like this makes me a bad contestant because I'm now too honest, right?
It's not a problem.
I can't like think of one off the top of my head.
It's okay. Well, can you at least name a time where you used strategy, whether it be in a game, on a team? Just you had to like really think before you did anything.
Oh, just like, okay. I'm a huge fan of board games, and so I used to like when I would play like Clue, I would draw out like a whole grid and just crush my family. They had no idea what was going on, and they got pretty angry at me. And we haven't played Clue for a long time.
Do you know the least amount of turns you've won Clue in?
I have no idea.
More or less than 2.
We've had
Yeah.
another applicant has mentioned Clue.
Yeah,
Really?
another
It has
entrance
1 and 2
for.
turns. So
1 and 2. I feel like they did cheat, right?
This is what you're
Maybe.
competing with,
Yes.
Noah. Like you're competing with
Yeah,
someone
there's-
that won Clue.
I don't think I can get first then.
you can have a giant Clue tournament between everyone have a fight.
This is how we decide.
Alright. So how do you like envision yourself as a player, incorporating strengths and weaknesses, like walking into day 1, like what are you gonna do? That was a lot of questions in one, but just
What I'm gonna do?
bring it.
I think I'm probably gonna be more of like I'm gonna be very competitive when it comes to the challenges, and then maybe like less dramatic, which is maybe not the best thing. But oftentimes when I play games with a ton of people, I'm oftentimes like doing really well strategically, and then when it comes to the people aspect, I get like fucked over a little more easily. So maybe that'll be fun if I end up playing. Maybe it won't be, but I don't know. I think that I'm pretty good with strategy, but then every once in a while, people will, like go behind my back.
So
I'm
how
crushed.
to
Probably not gonna go for any idols.
to
Also,
like
not gonna.
to characterize that into like strengths and weaknesses, what would they be? So strengths and strategy, you said.
Yeah, I think strengths would be like critical thinking, strategy, and stuff, and then weaknesses would be like actually teaming up and like not getting like stabbed in the back. So easy victim.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna ask this question.
Thank you, Joe.
So,
See you guys.
bye, Drew. Oh my god. So you don't want to do idol hunting, you said? Like you don't want to.
I don't know how much time I have for idol hunting. I mean, I'll definitely have enough time for this game, and it'll be fun. But like, I don't know. I was just looking back at that, like the video of the one guy just like going around that building, just like looking for like the idols in like pipes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can dedicate my whole my whole day to that.
So if you don't envision yourself like having the idol, but you also seem to be worried about like the social aspect, what would your strategy be?
Just mostly winning the challenges as much as possible. Yeah. And then hopefully through the strength that I demonstrate with the challenges, people will be like, oh, let's keep this guy around on the team.
What about after merge?
I have no idea.
It's very complex. Very far ahead thinking.
You guys don't like. How do you deal with like the hunger aspect of this? Like, how do you motivate people? I guess
We haven't.
don't-
Yeah, no, we don't
Okay.
like we don't starve people.
because that was like one of my favorite parts of Survivor was that they would be like they'd be out there and they'd be like, you're gonna fight for your food. And people are like afterwards when they lost, they're like, dude, I really wanted that food. It's like 10 pounds till I got here.
No.
Our extent is just like a gross eating challenge, which some people are good at, some
Okay.
people are not good
Yeah.
at, like me.
Oh, put down as strengths of willpower.
That's good. So how do you work in like groups? Like what would you say your role is? Where do you typically fall?
In like school groups, I'd say I usually end up leading a team. Like in social groups, what types of groups? There's like a few.
Any groups you
at
want.
At least more than one.
Yeah, any kind. We can. So you can say you're like different roles and different like.
I don't know. With stuff like this, I oftentimes end up taking initiatives. Then I end up just being the leader, not because I'm like forcing myself, but because I'm just like, oh yeah, let's just do this, and everybody else is like, oh, I don't want to be blamed for wrong decisions, and then everybody just goes along with it. Yeah.
Does that scare you in the game of Survivor if you're more of a leader and then you get blamed for the wrong decision? How are you gonna handle that?
No, I think I can talk my way out of that. Yeah.
So how would your friends describe you?
In like what?
Well,
What
like-
context?
Are you funny? Are you a bitch? I don't know.
Like if
Definitely
they
a
say,
bitch.
What is
Yeah,
Definitely a
like,
bitch.
like if I were to go up to your friends and be like, what is Noah like?
They'd be like, he's the most basic bitch you can be. That's like a dude. Yeah. No, I think most of my friends would just say that I'm like smart and I'm like curious and I end up doing a lot with my time. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. You oftentimes come to me for advice. Earlier today, someone said that they want me designing all of the products that they ever buy. So
Oh, that's a
I'll
pretty good
take that
compliment.
compliment. Yeah.
No one has ever told me
I would
that.
never say that about you.
Wow, that's fine. Well, then, this is not related, but what's your most embarrassing moment in your
Oh.
life?
The first one that comes to mind is when I shat my pants in band practice. And then I just had to like get up in front of like the whole ensemble, be like, "Hey, Mrs. Rosenthal, can I leave?" And then I had to tell her exactly what's happening. So not my best
You
moment.
have to tell them?
I mean, I told her. Nobody else actually knew what happened. I dealt with it pretty quickly, but we'll never know who actually did. Nobody mentioned it.
That's a struggle. What instrument did you play?
The trombone.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I've
All the
heard that.
boners in the back. Yeah.
Aggressive statement.
I played the clarinet.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
You're like, for us, you were on like the opposite, but in the center side of the room.
It's most important. It's not a big deal.
Is there a most important band instrument?
Yeah, clarinet. I just
I'd
said
say
that.
that's a conductor, right? It's not even an instrument.
No.
Clarinet.
What types of people do you not get along with?
Do you guys know the Myers-Briggs test?
Mm-hmm.
Like the S's. Like I'm a strong N, so when I have to talk about stuff, it's hard for me to do that. Small talk is hard. Some people are like telling me about their night. Not a huge fan of that. But if you want to talk about ideas, it's more fun.
Very interesting. So on that, what type of people do you like really get along with?
If you guys still want to stick on the Myers-Briggs test, like NTs. So all of my very close friends are just people who like to talk about ideas and then think a lot.
Are you one of those people that has like really late night, like 3-hour long talks about like what it is life out there or something like that?
Yeah, usually not about life, like the I don't know. Most of my friends are pretty nihilistic, so we don't talk about that very much.
Cool.
What are you involved with on campus?
The paintball club is pretty great.
There's a people one?
Like
There is a
shooting?
paintball club. I love to shoot people. Yeah. No, very. Yeah, the paintball teams are great. You guys should try it out when we have the tryout period.
Sounds terrifying.
It's pretty fun.
I like laser tag.
I also love laser tag.
This is like really fun.
Paintball's kind of a step up though, because there's like the adrenaline rush.
You
And like
actually
actual
get hurt.
pain. I mean, sometimes I like speed walk and laser tag, get a cramp, like can't do
Dude,
it.
that's dangerous.
Yeah.
You could walk into a wall.
Or like the
like,
5-year-olds
walk
that are in
into
there
a
with
wall.
you and you walk into them.
No, I love all that good stuff.
Anything
Oh,
besides
oh, yeah.
paintball?
Yeah, I'm a part of the barbell club. That's great. So it's just like the weightlifting club. The Startup Shell, which is a startup like student-run organization. The Sandbox, which is a makerspace.
Where do you live?
I lived in Epley.
What time?
Like sometime between like 1 and 6 usually.
I've never seen you. Or maybe I do see
Really?
you. That's like mine. Sorry.
I think you'd probably see me.
It's important to me. Just
Yeah.
regular.
When do you go at the same time?
Yeah, that's like the time frame you just said is that's when I'm going.
Do you-
Sometime between 1 and 6.
Do you lift in like the lower weight room?
Just the weight room on the left, right, when you walk in. The big weight room,
Mhm.
heavily.
Yeah.
I usually go to the other weight room. It's kind of
Yeah.
Dang. Okay.
Interesting.
I'll
I feel
look
like
for
you
you.
have seen me there.
I'll look for you more.
Yeah.
I'm just stopping.
Because I feel like I would notice you. You're very strong.
Oh,
Alright.
thank you. Yeah.
You're making
I
friends.
noticed so strong.
I don't want to throw it around, but I have like one of the biggest benches in the
Barbell club.
in the school. Like I haven't seen someone bench more than me in like
How
a
much?
semester. Like 335. It's like a
I can't
ton.
do that.
Yeah.
I can't do half that.
Yeah. You got all the right muscles for that.
Can you do that?
yeah.
Amazing.
Mainly the tits.
So, what do you hope to get out of this experience of Survivor?
I just want to have fun and just crush my opponents.
So, one thing is like, how do you think you're good at reading people?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at reading people.
So, if you looking at us now, how do you think like our games are, and if so, like who would you want to work with? So, just go down the line. Start there.
Start with her.
Yeah.
Read us.
Read you.
First impression.
I think that you'd be like very much like trying to build as many good connections as possible at the very beginning. Like you'd be nice to people. Is that exactly what happened?
I don't know.
Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
A little more.
And then I don't know. Yeah, and then I think that you'd be social. You'd probably try a bunch of hilarious stuff in the middle of the season, though, right? Every once in a while.
This is not
You
hilarious.
you got nervous when I said that.
It's a snake.
He's a snake.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think socially you try out stuff. Yeah. Just to see if you could like manipulate the game a little bit.
Okay, well,
I think Will would just be like a quieter participant who's really into the challenges.
I wish.
You wish. I don't
You did well.
What?
okay, what about him?
You tried.
don't know. I feel like you're quiet now, but maybe be like louder in the events, or just like speak up a little bit more. Like you would be extremely loud, and then I don't know. You'd probably like side with a group. I have no idea.
So who would you be most interested in working with if you were to? Be
I'd probably work with you because you'd be the. I think you'd be like the biggest.
That was a good choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The strongest player.
That was a great choice, actually.
Sorry, that's the wrong answer.
So what are you guys? So I can calibrate mine.
I'm a huge snake. I just lie a lot.
Okay, yeah, I think I got that.
But I'm good to the people I'm good to.
There you go.
Sure, some kid.
I wouldn't consider myself a snake. I was pretty loyal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got voted off.
Oof.
Really?
That's where
Sorry.
loyalty gets you, right?
What?
That's where loyalty gets you.
Yeah.
What about you?
I was the exact opposite of what you said.
Yeah, that's what I kind of got from your facial expression. What were you?
I'm very loud. Yeah, I like attention. And,
I'm very loud. Uses the minimum number of words in a sentence with the most pauses.
He repeats them a lot.
Yeah.
I'm the person who says too much and then gets reprimanded by everyone.
And
Oh, so you're like the guy who's like trying to use your ideas to push forward, and then everybody's like, no.
Kind of. That's not bad. That's accurate.
I mean, I'm kind of the opposite. I'm kind of like the low key, always in the background, and
The big moves at heart.
but then I always have big moves, and aspirations, and potentially sometimes attempts. But that's being said. But also, Doug, we used to call him the social god. That's what we
The social god. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
But I wanted to ask a question you answered, which was like, I think the question before this one was like, your answer was, I want to crush my opponents, right?
Mhm.
Define crush. What do you mean by crush?
Like beat them so badly that they like cry afterwards. No, I just want to win like very decisively.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Solid. Okay, so one last thing, I believe. Actually, I think I have two more, but I'll do one more right now. Why do we need to catch you that you have that like other people we're interviewing do not have?
The je ne sais quoi, that little thing. You're like, I know that French word. Yeah.
You know what that is?
No.
It's fine.
Come on.
I
It's a
understand
great
you.
word. Je ne sais quoi is like that little something. It's a great word to just like throw in there.
Do they use it in cooking?
Yeah, every once in a while, yeah.
Okay.
That je ne sais quoi on the dish that you don't know.
Oh, that's
It's
what I
it's
think.
basically like in cooking it would be used to describe the taste that you can't describe.
Gotcha.
But it's like that thing that makes the dish.
Alright, so what makes you that?
The je ne sais quoi.
Yes.
I need to add you to my dish.
I think that I would just be it's just weird. This took a weird turn.
I didn't mean that in a weird way. Keep going.
It's like, I didn't.
I think that I'm like a super innovative thinker. So if you're gonna bring me in, you're gonna see me try to do a few things that you maybe haven't seen before. I do that like all over the place, like in strategy games or like design, wherever. I also think that I'm gonna try to like, try out as many new social experiments as possible in the game. I think it'll make for good, viewing of your little TV series. Yeah, so I'd say those are the two big things. Yeah, I don't know. Wish I had a better answer. Anyways,
That's good.
continue.
Okay, my last one is, do you think you're a good liar?
Yeah, I think so.
So can you just like make up a lie right now and just like convince me of something? Awesome.
Just convince you of something.
Like
So it's a story where
just tell a
everything's
story, yeah.
Yeah, well, I
Probably
could just
anything.
I could just tell you a story that's kind of true, or I could tell
I
you
want
like,
just lies. I want no truth.
all right. So do you see like the veins in my forehead? There's like two. It looks like a Y.
How do they
You
come?
see them?
How do they do this work?
Oh, I guess when I'm just like running or something. There's basically two. They're like this. It's like an indent. But my dad also has them, and like also like most of the dudes in my family. It actually dates back to our ancestry in Scotland, and so our clan in Scotland, the Gordon clan, comes from this place called the Isle of Skye, and the river delta going in to their town, basically, looks like this thing on my forehead. And so people think that, this is like an indicator from like the fairies in the general area around Scotland.
Like a horoscope.
We came from that river delta. It's not like a horoscope because that'd be in the sky, right? But basically, like, what do you...
Oh,
Keep going.
No,
Keep
you-
going.
But so the other thing that came from that little area is the Gordon clan was the Kingsguard for the King of Scotland. And so what the little forehead veins mean to a lot of people in Scotland is that you're like a fierce warrior. And unfortunately, a lot of them died in, I think, like World War II or something. I think I might be getting that right. But, because they basically kept to those like old tactics. You heard like the cavalry charges in World War II, just got like shot down. That kind of happened. But since we like immigrated into the U.S. before that happened, I'm here, my dad's here, and we're just some fierce warriors that like to play paintball.
Nice.
Yeah. There
very
you go.
good.
That's it for me.
All right.
Think you have anything?
No.
Okay. If you do have any questions for us,
And you just want to spring breaks.